and welcome lovely Leos. My name's Rose Smith from absolutesoulsecrets.com and I'm here to do your horoscope for January 2020. And I should tell you a little bit about how I work. So I'll start with a horoscope and then I'll do a little bit of psychic introduction to the main themes for the month, then some tarot and a psychic summary at the end. It is a big month for everyone. I know it seems there's been a lot of that going on lately. I was saying in December what a big month it is. But, you know, this is the first month of, a new month in a new year, in a new decade. And there is so much going on. We have 6 eclipses this year, which is unusual. Usually it's like 3 or 4. But 6. So we'll no sooner get over one and then there'll be another one. And you know, the effects of eclipses can last for some months. So it's going to be eclipse. 6 is a lot in one year to have to deal with, you know, because it really does sort of cause a lot of stuff to come up from your subconscious. Added into that, this month we have on the 12th Saturn conjuncting Pluto, and for you lovely Leos, that's in your 6th house. So that's your everyday routine, that's your everyday work, and also your health and well-being. So you're really going to get a bit of a shake-up in those areas. As well as the Saturn conjuncting Pluto, there's also a lot of other planets in there, the Sun, Mercury, Jupiter, and so there is a lot of activity. So it's quite likely that you may think about another job or what you do with your time on a daily basis. It's like you're going to reorganize your life. So if you don't work, it could be volunteer work or it could be what you do on a daily basis. If you're staying at home, you're retired, or you know, you're not working or something like that, you might just decide you've had enough of it and you're going to, you know, go and get an RV and drive around the country or do something different, because there's really a lot of subconscious contents coming up to deal with, and you're going to have to balance out the energies of the different planets into something that works for you on a daily basis. But it's for the better, because it's like this sort of shake-up is going to be a clear out, and you may be feeling jaded or tired or depressed, or just like feeling, is there more to life than this? And you know, our life is just a series of small little moments. So we tend to think about the big things in life rather than the many small little moments that happen all the time. So you need to get a higher vibration of energy in those many small little moments of every day to improve your life. Okay, so and that goes with your health too. If you're having health issues or you just don't feel well, you know, you can ask upstairs and say, what one thing can I do that will improve my daily life? You know, because this is really going to help you at this time. The timing's perfect for improving your health. The 4th sees Mars moving into your 5th house. Now this is lovely because Mars is a motivator. So if you were feeling like tired and depressed and unmotivated, you're likely to have more motivation to go out and have fun, do something different, be closer to the world of the child, so that you'll be feeling more curiosity, because curiosity is actually pretty well undervalued. It's very important. It gives, you know, excitement in our daily lives. And so to be curious about all things, you know, like one of my personal habits is, if I see a word that I don't know what it means, I will always look up that word and think about that word. And now that I'm getting a bit long in the tooth, there's a lot of words, you know, but it's very rare, you know, if once you start this practice, and checking on words and where do the words come from and how do they come into, you know, how did they come into being, and that sort of thing. It's really quite sort of, I know I sound boring, but it's really exciting to find out about these words. So do something like that. It doesn't have to be that, but something that sparks your curiosity, you know. So you could find you're having more to do with children, or somebody in your family gets pregnant, and you're in touch with your own inner child. It's also great for flirtatious fun, meeting somebody new, what I call young love. So that's the type of love when you've just met them and you don't really know them very well, but you've got the sparks flying and you can feel a strong magnetic attraction. January is a great month. Okay, so that's from the 4th. The 10th, there's a lunar eclipse in your 12th house. Now, the 12th house is the house of the goddess, the house of the divine, the house of the subconscious. And with a lunar eclipse in there, there's also more reason why things in your subconscious will be shaken up. And so watch yourself in January, because you'll have these feelings coming up. You might be feeling cranky, you might be feeling upset, you might be having flashbacks to the past, but it's all good because it's about really cleaning out what's going on deep down inside you. So this is really a detox month, and you probably need it. We all need it after December, of course, you know, eating so much at Christmas time and all of that type of thing, hypergluttony, you know. So you're lucky because the energy's with you this month to have a spiritual detox and a physical detox. 13th sees Venus in your 8th house of intimacy and secrets and shared resources. So Venus going in there really oils the cogs, the wheels, for good, you know, sexual relationships, moments of intimacy with another person where you can share at a very, very deep level. That's great for sex. If you're looking for a loan, or maybe there's an inheritance coming, or something to do with money coming from another person or organisation, with Venus in there, it goes more smoothly than normal. So you may be looking to access your 401k or superannuation if you're in Australia. You might want a loan for your house, a car, whatever, So those negotiations are likely to be successful. 16th sees Mercury, 20th the Sun, and the 24th the new moon, all going into your 7th house of committed relationships. So there's likely to be a lot of communications, insight and awareness about what's going on with the other person. And with the new moon there, there's likely to be new starts. You could find an old lover coming back into your life and it all starts up again. You could find that a pre-existing relationship goes to a new level and it's a fresh start in some way. It's like a real understanding and comprehension of what the other person is going through. So that's great news. 7th house is committed relationships, not only personal, intimate relationships, but also important colleagues at work, or partners in business. Okay, so I'll just make that distinction. Okay, so I'm going to close my eyes now, lovely Leos, and see what I can see for you. All right, straight away, bang in my face, is a book upside down. Now, you've got some knowledge that you've acquired, but maybe you're not applying it in exactly the right way. You might have done some training or studying or something like that. It could be self-directed. It doesn't necessarily mean you've done it through an authority or, you know, a university or anything like that. But this training, it's like the knowledge is there, but it's upside down. So I'm thinking you're not using the knowledge, or you're not using it properly. There's another level here where you have to sort of rise to another level so that you can share the knowledge that you have. You could also start retraining. I'm looking at the book now and it sort of explodes. There's like explosions coming out of the pages. And these might be ideas that really challenge your thinking. You can find some of the things that you're reading or you're learning about almost shocking. It could be shocking in a good way even. It could be to open your mind to new realities. So please, if you are learning about anything, do examine it in a critical manner. Don't just accept what's there. Really think about and decide about, whether what you're reading is correct, and allow your mind to be open. Okay, lovely Leos. Right, I've got the singing bowls in front of me. So these are the bowls that are turned, and they've got, I don't know what it's called, but they've got a little sort of tool that they put into the bowl on the side of the bowl, and it makes the music. And I'm seeing the bowls spinning in front of me, and so I feel like another level of spirituality. Sometimes it's hard to talk, sorry. I'm getting the word rest and relaxation. Maybe put some spiritual music on, but do be open to the idea. If you have any sort of possibility of attending like a concert or a impromptu event where people are using the singing bowls or the music bowls, whatever you want to call them, please go. That would be helpful for you. Okay, so we'll go to the tarot cards now, and I'll pull the board up and see what I can get. I've already shuffled these cards, lovely Leos, but I like to give them another quick shuffle again, so that they're fresh. They haven't just been sitting there. Oh, that one, I want that one. And this one is the cups, and it's the Four of Cups. Okay, this could be about love because we've got the red rose, but that's more romantic love. It's a deep love, but there's also white roses here in the background, and this can denote spiritual love. So there's a spiritual element to this love. It's all about expressing your feelings. You'll see there's cups here that are on the stems of roses. Don't know if you can see that, but rose is all about love and spirituality. That's sort of a symbol for the spiritual. This lass here, she's wearing yellow. It's about confidence, self-esteem, coming from the gut instinct. Solar plexus is the home, the original home of intuition, they say, because it's the physical side of it. So it's like you go with your gut feeling. You can feel it in your gut. So this is a form of clairsentience or psychic ability. There's also green. She's wearing green for opportunities. There may be some opportunities in love in January for you, lovely Leos, that you can grasp with both hands. You'll see at the top here, there's a hand coming out of the cloud denoting spirit with the cup. Okay, this is nurturing, and it's going to feed you spiritually, this relationship. Okay, so if you come across anyone and you feel a little bit of a zing, like there's some sort of attraction, I would go for it. Okay, if you're in the situation of, being able to go for it, you're free and you're home and hosed, yeah, by all means. That's the first week. Now the second week, I'm going to pull a card for every week. Second week of January 2020. Wow, it's hard to even say that. I haven't even got that around my head yet. 2020, and this one comes out. And this is the Two of Wands. You could be feeling really inspired and really motivated. There may have been some challenges or blocks or delays around you. See this rock hedge. There's a special word in England, I just can't remember what they're called, but when you drive along in the countryside, there's all the hedgerows, I think they're called. these sort of rock fences. But there's a bit of a gap here where she can actually step through. So she can get out of any restrictions or blockages that are holding her back. She's wearing red for action. She's got the baseball bats for action. And there's also a lot of blue, which is about self-expression. So I would encourage you to express yourself. She's in contact with the ground. It's about being grounded, but there's also a balloon there with the earth floating up into spirit. So it's about getting the right balance between spirit and being grounded this month. But you could be feeling certainly very inspired to do so. Being a 2 could be to do with relationships, getting a relationship onto a physical level, or possibly even finances, getting your finances sorted out. Let's go now to the third week of January 2020 and see what we can come up with. Oh, this one. Okay, this is definitely serious action required here. The 7 of Wands. She is motivated to improve her position. If somebody were to hassle her or try and dominate her, she's going to take them on. She's not going to stand for it. It's time to say no. It's time to take action and move forward. You can stand your ground for a while till you decide what you want, but at some point you're going to move forward. And so this is like almost like Mars energy, giving you the motivation to improve your circumstances. I'm getting the word fantasy, which doesn't normally go with this, but I just feel like there's a situation where you don't have the full story, and so just be careful before you use your baseball bat on anybody, and I mean that in a joking way. I'm not serious, but before you take action, just make sure you have all of the facts in the third week, lovely Leos. And I mean, you're a powerful personality. That's the other thing. To you, you might think you're being completely reasonable. Other people might think it's a bit strong for the situation because you are a powerful personality. Now, looking at the last 10 days of the month for January 2020, 10 days of the month for 2020, and we come up with this one, Knight of Swords. Okay, if you watch me regularly, you know that I don't actually mind swords. A lot of people, in this area in metaphysics don't really like swords if they're a tarot reader, because they call it the most negative suite of the deck. But I don't view it that way, because this is your cognition, this is your mental faculties. And there are times when it is appropriate to think, okay? The issue comes is if you think too much and you overthink things, that can be problematic. But with this Knight of Swords, it's very adventurous, and it's about injecting a bit of excitement into your life, in your thinking processes. So, you may be thinking about doing something completely different. You may be thinking about overseas trip. It's about you stepping forward and going out into the world to be yourself, so I don't see it as a bad thing at all. It's a knight is a young male energy, even though that's a female in the card, and he might stuff up. he mightn't get it right, and you mightn't get it right, but it's still important to do. Okay, so last 10 days of the month, have a try. It doesn't mean it'll work out, but at least, take the opportunity, if any opportunities come up, and have a try. Okay, so I'm going to do a psychic summary for you now, lovely Leos, and see what comes up as the main themes. Okay, there's a door in front of me. What's happening? Oh, this is weird. It's got a white rose, and then it's got a bow, like a prize, like some sort of accolade on the door. The door is closed and it's like Spirit is asking you to open the door, but you're not too sure. So this actually sort of fits with the last card, because this is like, have a go. You know, it mightn't work out. There's a situation here where it could be something coming back from the past and you're not too sure about it, but it would be worth investigating. Or a new situation. I feel like it's potential is there to meet somebody, but you're not too sure. But, you know, keep it light. You don't have to sort of get hot and heavy straight away. Keep it light and just, you know, keep it on a friendship basis and see where it goes. They're showing me a lot of blue at the moment, which is like blue sky thinking, like opportunities, allowing whatever it is to come in, and then it's like brainstorming. So it doesn't matter how crazy the idea is, it's just accept it without judgment, and then you can sort out the details later on. They're showing me bunches of roses, all different colours, but I can see red. So there is an opportunity for love this month, if that's what you're looking for. Okay, so it's a good time now to prepare. If that is what you're looking for, it's a good time now to prepare yourself and start meditating on it and say to Spirit, I am willing to open my heart. Okay, I know we've all been hurt at some time, but the issue is if you keep your heart closed, then it becomes smaller and smaller and contracted, and hearts are actually supposed to contract and then expand to beat. So if you just keep it in the contraction mode, you're doing yourself, certainly spiritually, but possibly physically, you're doing yourself a disservice, because you don't want that muscle to be contracted. You could end up, you know, if you think like that for years and years and years, that could be a problem later. They're showing me a waterfall here with a lot of water, which is your soul energy coming down into your crown chakra. So this is your life force. I'm looking at it, and there's an opportunity to increase that this month in January. Okay, I hope that's helped you, lovely Leos. If it has, please give this a like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and don't forget to click the notification bell. But most importantly, I'm wishing you a very wonderful month with a lot of love and affection this month. Okay, thanks again, and bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual.